Welcome to Coach SG and Friends, where we discuss topics that help you have a better relationship with yourself and others. I am Coach SG, otherwise known as your joyful friend. I'm a relationship coach and life mentor, an entrepreneur and speaker. I'm based out of Los Angeles, but originally from Brooklyn, New York. I love great music, deep conversations, and inspiring people to live their best emotional lives and create their most amazing love story. Let me introduce you to my two friends, Janessa Rose and Lisa Miranda. Janessa is the CEO of Motivational Monsters, a nonprofit that helps people activate mental health and emotional well-being through creative arts. She is the author of How to Stop Being an Effing Bum. BUM stands for Broken Urban Mentality. She's been dubbed the Tony Robbins / Cardi B of motivational speakers, and she calls herself the Galactic Goddess. Lisa Miranda is an actor and creative director. She's also dabbling in producing. She is based in Miami, New York, and Paris. She is a world traveler who speaks several languages, who loves life, good people, and good conversation. So we want to welcome you to our podcast. Let's get started. What are some other tips you guys can share? So if there's a person out there, they want to meet their ideal person, should they go online? Should they what are some action steps they should take?
Well, I'm not going to sound outdated in this, but I don't like online dating, and I did it plenty. And I think when I was doing it though, so disclaimer, when I was doing it, I wasn't taking care of my mind. I was just kind of trying to stay busy, meet people. I was just I was on that hamster wheel. But what I did notice was that when I met someone one-on-one, there would be, you can set a tone. You can let someone know how you want to be treated. And I couldn't really do that online, like I would be, like I like going on a dinner date, but someone meets me online, they want to go to a bar to stand up, to size me up real quick, and I'm like, I was like, I don't even drink. So for me, it was a little challenging, setting the tone of who I am and what I want. And even if I'm attracted to the other person online, because I have this funny thing, right? Because I like something about personality is like more important than looks. So I would choose people online who wrote funny things or were just like really like witty. And then I'd see them in person and it was always a big mess. We've already been laughing. And we're like the best of friends. And I was just like, I just work better when I can see someone and then we know right away. Well, I know right away if I want to keep going forward.
I personally I'm not a big fan of online dating. Whenever I did meet someone online, it just, I'm not happy with the things like that. I prefer meeting people just straight up. But there's people out there who I do know people who have dated online, and I know a girl who met somebody online, married them. They're about to have a child. They have a great relationship, and so it works for different people. But I believe the one thing you got to do in order, whether you're meeting somebody, whether you're dating online, is you got to be open to things that you don't know yet. You just have to be open to the unknown. One thing for sure, and I've been saying this all week, is the unknown scares the crap out of us. And that's anyone. That's normal. That's human. That doesn't mean that, like, oh, you're not good at dating. Anything that we are not aware of brings a sense of fear. So you have to have a consciousness to say, well, I'm open to the unknown. I've never done this before, whether that be online dating, whether that be personally meeting someone, whether that be both. You know what I mean? You got to be open up to the things that you don't know, because you won't know until you know. So you got to try it.
Right.
Things, not things that don't make you, comfortable, but at least be a little bit open to some new excitement for yourself, because you might like it and be like, yo, I like this about me.
Yeah. Well, I think what you guys both just clarified is you got to do what's right for you. If online dating doesn't work for you, you feel like it's not turning into anything, then don't do it. If that's, don't do it because everybody else is doing it. Do what feels natural to you. You might feel more natural meeting somebody, outside somewhere, or being introduced, by someone, or being online. I mean, there are some people that they just do everything online and they're just used to it, and it doesn't feel odd or weird. It feels odd and weird to me, but if that's what works for them, that's what works for them. So I think, the advice that you guys are both given is that, do what's right for you. Whatever feels most comfortable for you, that's the avenue that you should choose. Do you agree?
May I add something to that? I
Sure.
feel like sometimes when people go on dates, obviously you want to present the best version of you, but I feel like it should be the ideal you, right? Not like a caricature of you or who you want to be. Like if you never wear these tight dresses and high heels, you don't have to make yourself uncomfortable for a date. If you're quirky, be quirky. If you're whoever you are, like let that shine without feeling shame about who you are. I think a lot of times we try to, all right, well, this is what this person might like, or this is what everyone's saying is beautiful or is in, right? And let me try to like match that, and maybe I'll find a partner. Well, maybe you find someone that you're not even happy with. So letting that go enough to be who you are. Like I know if I'm on a date and I say something and they don't get it, then we're not gonna have a good relationship. Like if they don't get me, it's just not gonna be, And I had times like when I was younger, when I would be with people who would just look at me blank when I would talk, like constantly. And I'm like, what am I doing here? Mm-hmm. So making sure that you're being your ideal self, but not someone that you're not.
You said that. Yeah. Can we unpack this a little bit more? Because, what Lisa just said related to what you said earlier about, bringing your advocate. So how does one not bring their advocate to the place? And I think what Lisa was saying was that, don't be somebody you're not. And go ahead, Janessa, what you were going to say.
Yeah, I was going to touch on that basically. So one of the things that I realized within my own agenda with dating was that I introduced whoever I was dating to the ideal me that I am working toward, right? The highest version of Janessa is looking to be this, that, and a third. And I don't do things that I know I'm not going to continue to do. I am myself, and I always consciously say to myself, the ideal situation for me is that a person knows that I'm this way. So I'm going to do this, and how they handle it right now is the test. So yeah, this is me. This is what I do. I snap sometimes, or this or that or this, whatever my thing is. So it's important to let them know, like, ideally this is what I'm working towards. So sometimes I do this, and sometimes this, and sometimes that, but I'm being authentic in all those ways. So I'm not acting. I'm not going to, because I like this guy and he wants me to put out on date one. I'm not going to do that because that's not who I am. And, whatever, that's just one of my things. So that would show up in different things. A guy wants to, do something I'm not comfortable with. I'm not going to do that because I'm not going to continue to do that in the relationship. I'm not going to do it just because I like this dude and I want him to, see me in this light. So little by little, you just kind of be yourself and just say, hey, look, how you deal with that now is really what it is.
I think it's just, you guys are just saying kind of the, similar things just in different ways. But I think it's important that we share with people that you want to try your best, even though you're putting your best foot forward, that you're not putting someone in front of someone that you can't maintain, that you're not really connected to, you're just doing for this one event.
I think the whole thing is that you want to make sure that you get into a relationship with someone who over time and because of the relationship, you're able to shine more. Not somebody where your light is going to be dimmed because you guys don't agree on these huge fundamental things, or you're being dimmed in some way. You want to make sure it's like long term. Can I see myself being better, happier because I know this person? If that's a yes, of course. And if it's I don't know, it's tread lightly.
And here's the other thing is that I think when we're looking for traits in the partner, right, that sometimes we're looking for I don't know. I don't know if we're looking for the bigger picture sometimes. Like you got to look at, can you have fun together? If you're on a date and you're not having fun, you know what I mean? Like that's a sign, and then if there are any bumps in the road, maybe they're late or whatever, like how are you handling things? And are they complimentary? Do they seem like they appreciate things? Like we have to have more of a high level uh trait that we're looking for, not do they have money and can they dress well.
Oh, girl. I waited so late to talk about that. Um, that is the major key. A lot of people, because they're really not looking for relationships for the right reasons. When you're looking for a relationship just because somebody looks good, makes you look good because they look good or they're known and associated with things, have money. This is the ideal of I want to impress other people that are looking in on me, not really me, trying to feel better about myself. A person that does things like that clearly values their worth based on outside circumstances. But fun is one of the main things, especially for me. If we're not having fun, if I can't cry laughing with you, if I can't enjoy that fun, loving vibe, once it's not fun, I'm done. You know what I'm saying? Like I need it to be fun, even the hard times. You know what I'm saying? Like even the hard times after we assess it, because I understand assessing stuff. It needs to be, we need to have a light side of it. We need to be light footed around the things that are hard because dark times are not optional. You know what I'm saying? That's life. So that's such a key. So when a person is looking for like, oh well, he looks good and he's this and he's that and that, if you, that's not the right reasons to go into the relationship. Those are perks in a relationship. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, we're
oh
not saying to not have any of that
yeah,
stuff. We're
well,
just
you
saying
deserve all of that good stuff. You
those
know?
extra features and benefits, but it doesn't have to be the main part. Because I know people are saying in their head, "Yeah, I want to have a lot of fun, but I want to have fun when nobody broke." So
No,
I just want to make sure
no,
that we're
that's a
not
major
saying that they're
point.
mutually exclusive, but the most important things you want to be able to have alignment with, and fun is important. How you deal with problems, how if you don't feel good about parts of yourself, that at least it's gonna go and kiss your nose, that kind of stuff. I'm just saying, like, those things are really important. It doesn't mean you have to be with somebody who's broke and doesn't dress well. That's not what we're saying, right?
I think
no,
the way I describe it is that you have one precious life to live. And you have to choose someone that makes you feel good and happy and strong. And in that vein, like you find more of the things that you want, and you know what I'm saying? And you advance, and you want to look back at your life and be like, yeah, like these choices, these people, like they help propel me forward to who I really want to be. And not necessarily like, oh, like because all that other stuff is insecurity. You end up, you can't, it's not yours. It's not, you can't just rest and be easy if you're just looking for, here's this list. You know what I'm saying? That because of this list, society's going to view me this way, or I'm going to have that relevance, whatever. I haven't seen anyone like that happy yet.
Yeah.
And it's a never ending cycle. You're just
Yeah.
like, okay, I got to do that. I got to do that. Like, how exhausting for your one life. Like, this is all you got. Like, who cares what other people think? And I get you want to maintain a certain quality of life. I 100% understand that and agree. And I think coming at it from who makes me more excited about life, as opposed to starting with a network, a network or a net worth, etc.
Mm-hmm. I love the way you put that. I love the just like, I think everybody's got to determine what's important for them. And just like, I think people put finances on a lot of stuff, and not to say that it's not important, but if you are able to have a lot of fun with someone, you're able to help each other with each other's dreams and inspire each other to make money together. That shit is amazing. Instead of just sitting there waiting, somebody's got to come with all the benefits already. It's really about like, but can you do this with somebody? And I think that's really important. So I think both of you guys share that. Sorry, I had a
Yeah. What I think about that? There's a lot of people in the world that have a lot of money. Do you know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying that because it's just like, oh, that's the easiest thing to attract. But I'm saying that if that's the first thing you're looking at, that isn't like you might like that isn't necessarily give any quality traits, any personality traits of what you're looking at. So sometimes you could be really disappointed because you're like, well, the first two was money and nice clothes. And then he turned out to be, a rapist.
That's 100%. Sherelle, what you said about like once you tap into the energy of creating together, where it gives you opportunity to make money together, make have great experiences with one another. That's what it's all about. The universe is going to constantly give us opportunity to support each other, invest in each other, different levels, not just only financial or emotional or sexual. There's going to be all of that. That's what an ideal relationship is, when you both can invest in one another's space, time, finances, mental capacity, emotional capacity, whatever. That's what an ideal relationship is to me. And so that's what's mostly important.
I love that. And I think, as I talk, I'm always talking about dating and relationships and stuff too, that, and you guys have mentioned it too, is that, you got to look for your spirit first. Like before all that other stuff, you got to look for the spirit. Like, is their spirit good? Do you feel good when you're with them? Are you having fun? Then you got to look at their emotional state, right? So are they mostly happy or are they mostly sad? It doesn't mean, just like you were saying, Janessa, you're like, dark times come, but are you able to get through them together? So looking at their spirit, can you have a spiritual partnership? Can you have an emotional partnership where they take care of the things that you feel inadequate in or you feel insecure in? Are they going to keep pushing you and pointing to you, or are they going to nurture you? And then those are the other things. I think when you're looking at finances, it's not so much that you gotta, because people talk about being equally yoked. I want to do an episode on that, just about being equally yoked. And I don't think equally yoked means, and I want to get you guys' opinion too, means that you have to have the same thing. Equally yoked, in my opinion, is that you're able to make it work for you guys as a team. Let me know what you guys think.
I did a whole episode called Evenly Yoked on my little vlogs on YouTube. And this was about a year or so ago. And I was talking about, because a lot of people think Evenly Yoked is all about religious stuff. Really, it's about the power of exchange.
We decided to cut the conversation about being equally yoked, so tune into next week's episode and you'll hear more about it. Thank you. Okay, back to our episode.
Like, I am telling you, if you notice right away people aren't working for you, you gotta let it go. And even if you have to be alone for a little while, it's a whole lot better than having to clean up a whole bunch of stuff. And also be gentle with yourself, because you will have, it has nothing to okay, I want to say it has nothing to do with you. Of course, it has everything to do with you, but it's not who you are. Like, the things that you've gone through does not define who you are in the future and what you can accept in the future. All right, you've done some stuff that was immature, you're not proud of. It's all right. Like, that's not your brand. You can move forward as the woman or man you want to be, and ask for things that you didn't ask for in the past. There's something really powerful when you start expecting and accepting things that match with who you really are.
I love that. That's super important. This morning, I was doing, before this, I was doing a meditation. And one of the things that I love about this meditation is the idea that I'm not my job. I am not my relationship. I am not the circumstances that upset me or excite me. Like, those things are not the I. They are not who I am. Like, you guys know I'm spiritual. Like, my spirit, like you were saying earlier, Sherelle, like knowing the spirit, does the spirits, how's the spirits, how you feeling? That is who you are, like the soul. Like, and for those of you who don't believe in that, I don't know what to tell you, because there's nothing better than when all the outside sources no longer work for you or with you, like, there's a side of me that is unseen, that I can grow into, that I can tap into, that higher version of self, and getting aligned with that is always the healing factor, no matter what's happening outside of self. Because we're not in control of the things that are outside of ourselves, which are our jobs, our relationships, so on and so forth. That is a key. And so that's so powerful. You get excited about life again when shit starts to feel around you. It's like I could tap into another level. What about if I did this? What about if I tried this? What about that's what we are, that's what I am.
I want to thank you for that. I want to go back to something that Lisa said. So this is what happens, right? So we say, well, if they're not showing up the way we want them to, then, move on to the next. And I think that's the hard part for people. How do they make the choice to move on to the next when they feel like, well, it took so long for me to just find this one? So any quick advice before we go to the next one that you could give somebody, because they may be going, well, it's easy for you to say you're beautiful and a model, and I'm dealing with some health issues, and I got some extra weight on me. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that they won't find, they always see themselves as different, and we're all the same. So what would you say?
That's a lie. That's a false belief system. If you have to be real strong minded in this, situation. Like, do you say, oh, it took me so long to find this? It's easy for you to say. The longer you hold on to something that's not for you, the more you block what is. So you need to immediately abandon that belief system. Be kind to yourself and have that patience that we were talking about earlier, and trust that your higher self, your spirit, the one that you are, will attract that what you need for you. You can't just hold on to something like, well, I just found this and so I want to keep on to it. And you basically are saying, well, I'll live in an illusion for a little longer. That's basically what you're saying, in other words. So it's a weak mind state. And I'm gonna say it roughly like that because it's the truth. I could sit here and powder foot about it, but it's not gonna do you no justice.
The work, at the end of the day, you have to decide what life you want to live. Nobody else is going to decide your life for you. And if you want to hide behind, oh, well, I'm not perfect, I don't have this, I don't have that. Those, once you decide that those things are more important than you going after what you really want in your heart, well, that's when life gets really dim and sad. I heard something recently. No, when I doubt my power, I give power to my doubts.
Mm.
And I was thinking about that earlier when I was just like, doing some things. I was like, okay, do I want to give powers to my doubts? No, I don't. Right. So decide who you want to be. Let everything else go. Plenty of people will love you. Just don't make it about your insecurities. Make it about the things about you that are so wonderful, and the things that are wonderful.
Real quick, what she just said, she said plenty of people will love you, right? But plenty of people don't love people who don't love themselves. Yeah. Those people abuse you. So when you don't love yourself first, those people you think love you, no, they recognize the weakness within you and they take advantage of that. And that's right. A fact. So you have to be really more focused on how I'm going to love myself. And one of the first things that occurs during that process of self-love is realizing that you believe you're not worthy of love. And that's a lie. That's a limiting self-belief, and it's a lie. It's a part of the shadow self that tells us that we're unworthy. And that's a lie. That's debris in your aura. And you got to work on getting that out ASAP.
Yeah. And that has nothing to do with what you look like, because people might think, oh, well, certain people are exempt from this. One day I was looking up this model that I was crazy about, right? Just couldn't imagine someone more beautiful than her in the whole world. I just Googled her, and she had just got off a whole suicide thing because her man left her. She just tried to kill herself. And I was just like, wow, like what these internal problems are for anybody and everybody, and we all have to take care of them by looking deeply and making the transformations that we need. But it starts from inside, not out.
That's right. The darkness is not.
I feel like y'all taking me to church. Jumping on the spiritual nuggets.
That's right. No, because the internal stuff that we have to go through, that's part of the, not to turn this into spirituality, but it's part of the evolution.
Part of this. You can't not, if you want a spiritual partnership, you got to bring the spirit in.
optional. It's not optional. We can't turn around and be like, oh, I don't want to deal with it. It's not optional. We're gonna have these hard times. And just like Lisa said, it's for any and everybody. We are all going through this. There's not one person. And you ever hear think, oh, like, well, that might be small to you and it might be big to me. Everybody's stuff is big.
Right.
Everybody's stuff is big to them.
Right.
And it doesn't need to be big to the other person. You have to do your inner work, and it's not an option. You cannot suppress it because it will pop back up, and it'll be like a little buoy, bing, and it tip you over once it pop back up. You know what I mean? So
Right.
it's a key. It's a key to healing.
Yeah. Well, I thank you, ladies. There was a quote that I read somewhere. I don't know who wrote it, but it says to go where you feel welcomed and stay where you feel valued. And I felt like that was a good way to end this segment. That if you're meeting people and go where you feel welcome, where you feel like they enjoy you, they can't wait to be around you, they are excited about you, they want to celebrate you, and you feel very welcomed, and stay where you feel valued. So I think that's a great way to end this segment. You girls did a fantastic job. If you guys have any questions, comments, whatever, just leave it below. We'll be happy to answer it. If you have any topics you want us to talk about, just let us know. We'll welcome it. But I think we're going to do that equally yoked discussion for our next episode. Anything you guys have before we go?
Nope, that's it for me. I had a great time doing this. Definitely be sure to comment below. Ask any of us any questions that you guys might have. My book's for sale on Amazon. It's called How to Stop.
You can tell them where they can find you too, because I did a poor job at putting you guys' information. So let them know where they can find you if they want to find you, Janessa.
Okay, awesome. Find me on my Instagram. You can DM me with any other questions if you want to talk about anything other than what we discussed on this episode at Janessa, JANESSA underscore Rose, ROSE underscore. If you have any interest in nonprofit work and creative arts and emotional and mental healing, you can also look me up at motivationalmonsters.org.
Woo.
Lisa.
I'm still riled up about this relationship stuff. I'm like, please do not settle. Please do not be unhappy for no reason. Please love yourself. Those were my parting words. You can find me on Instagram at Miranda, MIRANDA _acts, ACTS. And I'm so excited about next time.
All right. And you guys know where you can find me, so I don't need to say that, but we welcome the feedback. We just want to make sure that the content that we are providing has value. We just want to be helpful. That's where our spirit is. We're just sharing our lessons and our blessings. So if there's anything you want to talk about, just drop it below, and we'd love to hear from you. So
Till next time.
My joyful friends, we have come to the end of this episode. Don't forget to check out next week's episode. We appreciate you listening and would love your feedback. So drop a comment below, and don't forget to hit subscribe.